Martino, and this is my workshop. Let's go make a mirror. This is an old maple tabletop I found on the side of the road. I'm using a screwdriver to take it apart instead of a drill because my son is napping in the room next door. And that's my daughter in her sparkliest dress giving me a hand taking all the screws out. I've seen Jimmy DiResta use this technique to draw ovals in the past, so I thought I'd give it a try, and it worked great. To make the inside matching oval, I just tied my loop a little bit smaller and did another oval inside. Then I went ahead, grabbed a marker, and drew all my drips and the outline for the mirror frame. The next morning I was able to head out into the workshop and start cutting it out. I originally planned on cutting this whole thing out with a jigsaw, but then quickly remembered how much I hate that tool. So I decided I needed to bring it over to my bandsaw, which meant I was going to have to cut it into pieces because this was not going to fit on my bandsaw. No problem though, I knew I could glue it back together in the end. I've had this idea to make a melting mirror frame for a little while now. I think I got it when I saw Michael Alm's After I saw Michael Alm's melting side table project, I knew I wanted to make something that was dripping myself. I don't know, there was just something so cool about it. My blade kept coming off of my bandsaw and you can feel my frustration right here. No! Once I had the basic shape cut out, it was time to start carving. This isn't something I've ever done. I've never carved anything like this before, so maybe following my directions on this isn't a good idea, but I got it done and I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. The idea here was to just start rounding everything over and give the whole frame a feeling of movement. I grabbed my angle grinder and started with a 60 grit flap disc. And I moved on to this little spindle sander thing for my drill, which was kind of useless, but helped me round over all the inside curves. I had this ball thingy I bought from Kutzall, which removes a ton of material and was great to remove a ton of material. This whole project was basically just an experiment. I really had no clue what I was doing. I basically tried every sanding disc and every sanding tool I had. So after all that, it was time to start gluing this thing back together. I took some of the scraps I had left over and I cut out some of these 1/8 inch strips. After that, I ran my mirror frame through the table saw standing up on its end. I know it looks like my hand is super close to the blade. That's because it is, and this was a stupid cut to make. Use a push stick. These strips slide right into the cuts I made and strengthen the joints. This first piece was pretty easy to clamp together, but these next ones I was going to have to figure something out because it's not easy to clamp something round. So I screwed a bunch of boards to my workbench and then just took some wedges and hammered them into place to help hold it all there. This worked great. I did that for the top piece, and then once that was dry I was able to do it for the two side pieces, and I had it all glued back together. This was an attachment for my angle grinder that really changed the whole project. It made everything much easier and I was able to step up in grits all the way to 320, which helped make everything much smoother. I had ordered a flush trim router bit and it had not come in the mail yet, and since I'm so impatient I decided to try to eye this with my router, and I kind of made a mess of the back, but no big deal because I'm gonna make a mess of the mirror too, you'll see. Once I had this all routed out the best that I could, I moved on to cutting out my mirror. Cutting out a round mirror with a little glass cutting tool is not easy. I used some tung oil on this mirror frame and it really brought out all the colors. Then it was time to hide all my mistakes on the back with a piece of 1/8 inch cardboard. I cut out a nice oval, nailed that onto the back, and then I put these little hangy doodads on the back, and it was time to hang it up and take some pictures. Making this mirror frame was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. But if you didn't, try a different video. I got a whole bunch of them. Anyway, thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.
Bye, see you again, and have a good dream.